For 48 long years, Voyager 2 drifted beyond the reach of sunlight, farther than any voice from Earth could follow without delay. A silent pilgrim. A relic of human ambition gliding into a place where no engine burns and no sound exists. Its transmissions home became a ritual: plasma counts, cosmic ray readings, magnetic field changes. Predictable. Routine. Comforting. Until one day, something changed. The signal came like any other. A packet of data, weak but traceable. Engineers at first thought it was corrupted, filled with strange compression artifacts, frequency spikes, unregistered binary clusters. But deep inside that transmission was something Voyager was never built to send. Not a sensor log. Not numerical telemetry. It was an image. No one believed it at first. Probes at that distance cannot send visual data. Voyager wasn't equipped to take pictures anymore, not out there, in that cold black nowhere. The feed showed nothing but static for hours, until an intern increased the exposure layering and ran it through a temporal filter. That's when the static moved. Pixels realigned into shapes, faint, like something behind thick fog. Not stars. Not dust. Not anything known. A structure. Monolithic. Precise. And it was facing the viewer, as if staring back through the void. Researchers enhanced the file, frame by frame. Each layer revealed overlapping images, like multiple photographs taken at different moments but embedded in one transmission, bleeding across time. Timestamps contradicted themselves. Segments looped backward. Resolution folded into fractal spirals that behaved like compressed dimensional data. It wasn't a picture. It was an event. A frozen moment captured from beyond time as we know it. And surrounding that dark, symmetrical figure was nothing. No cosmos. No background radiation. Just absence, as though the universe itself stepped aside to make room for whatever Voyager saw. Then came the second anomaly. Voyager recorded a sudden surge in plasma density around itself. At the edge of interstellar space, plasma should be almost non-existent. Instead, readings soared to levels no one had ever observed: dense, charged, hot. Not natural heat. Controlled heat. Generated heat, like containment, like a border. A membrane. Not keeping something out, but keeping us in. As that data streamed back to Earth, Voyager's thrusters flickered, uncommanded. The probe shifted direction by just a few degrees, as though nudged by a hand invisible and deliberate. No celestial body was close enough to pull it. No gravitational source existed out there to explain it. And then Voyager sent a second file. This one was different. Simpler. A ring of light expanding around that same monolithic form, growing wider each time the transmission repeated. Almost like an opening. A gateway widening with every burst. NASA locked the feed. Portions scrubbed. Servers isolated. But not fast enough. Amateur radio telescopes picked up remnants, faint, fragmented echoes of that image. In some frames, the monolith appeared larger. Closer. As if it wasn't Voyager approaching the object, but the object approaching Voyager. Those fragments carried more than visuals. Buried in the binary stream was a pattern of evolving geometric structures. Spirals. Polyhedrons. Organic curves resembling cephalopod neural pathways and coral lattice formations. At first, analysts assumed compression artifacts. Random noise. Until the pattern began to repeat. Then change. Then respond. Simulations showed the design adapting when interacted with. As if alive. As if it had been waiting for someone to look, and now that we had, it grew more complex, like a thought forming inside a brain. Or a seed germinating in fertile mind. Somewhere between the first and second transmission, Voyager began to act strangely. Feedback signals appeared in its logs, responses to its own outgoing pings. Impossible. It cannot receive deep space responses. Yet the return signals were there, arriving faster each time, until the delay reversed, the echo arriving seconds before the original call. Data from the future? Or from outside time? Whatever answered Voyager was not bound by linearity. And when cryptographers tried to decode the deeper layers, the code fought back. Systems crashed. Drives corrupted. One workstation overheated and physically melted its processor, like the data itself resisted being understood. Not a message to read. A message to trigger. A memetic key designed not for machines but for minds. Part 1 ends with Voyager transmitting one more time, not data, not imagery, but sound. A rhythmic harmonic pulse like breath across endless distances. Engineers who heard it described a crushing weight behind their eyes. A sensation of being seen, intimately, impossibly, by something patient, conscious, ancient. The waveform carried prime number spirals in triplets. Not random. Not decorative. A lock. An invitation. After that final pulse, Voyager 2 did something it had never done before. It went quiet. Not offline, the carrier stream continued, but emptier than silence. No data. No variance. Just repeating loops of null information, perfectly structured. Too perfect to be random. Too deliberate to be broken. A placeholder. As if something was waiting for us to answer. Weeks passed. Then months. Agencies across the world pretended nothing happened. Press releases blamed solar interference. They archived the anomalies under instrument noise, like they always do when truth becomes dangerous. But inside observatories, fear spread quietly. Because Voyager wasn't the first. A buried archive surfaced, a classified 1982 event log describing a faint transmission early in Voyager's journey. Weak. Childlike. Containing the same prime spirals and recursive geometry. Marked with one red stamped line, if signal repeats, initiate Protocol 9. Planetary alert. Object deflection measures. A defense plan, never activated. Because now the signal wasn't faint. It was growing. And then the world began to change. SETI arrays detected similar harmonic patterns scattered across unrelated sky sectors. Echoes as if the universe were repeating Voyager's pulse back to us, practicing our name on its tongue. Amateur operators heard the same lonely 52 Hz tone, the frequency of the world's loneliest wail, reverberating through cosmic noise. Every major radio dish on Earth slowly oriented toward a single blank region near the ecliptic. No memo ordered this. No command was issued. It was instinct, as if something whispered in frequencies human ears could not detect. Look here. Because whatever Voyager contacted was not distant anymore. Around this time, a phenomenon emerged. A massive gravitational distortion detected by Australian interferometers, but invisible. No light. No radiation. Only mass-bending space itself. Stranger still, its speed increased whenever observation lapsed, like it moved best when unseen. A quantum observer-dependent structure. Existing only when watched. Or perhaps hiding until watched. A door that opens not outward, but inward. Scientists reported hallucinations. Dreams of spirals folding into themselves. A black shape watching from the corner of their sleep. Several high-level astrophysicists vanished from public life. Some moved to underground facilities. Others simply disappeared. One leaked memo mentions, "Signal fragment C, something only analysts exposed too long seemed to hear." They claimed the message wasn't content, but a call. A pull on consciousness itself. And then came the discovery that changed everything. Voyager's final image, that monolithic shape, wasn't unique. In 2009, a fast radio burst recorded near the Sculptor galaxy carried the same recursive structure. It was dismissed. Buried. Forgotten. But when overlaid with Voyager's frame, patterns matched with disturbing accuracy. This wasn't a new event. It was a returning one. A cosmic threshold every civilization eventually reaches, and something waits for them when they do. Not warmly. Not cruelly. Just, inevitably. The image wasn't a scene. It was a map. But not a map to a place, a map to a transformation. Researchers applied quasi-crystal algorithms, unfolding the shape along theoretical higher-dimensional axes. When rotated through 5 space, the monolith collapsed into a spiral tracing Voyager's original flight path, as if guiding it, shepherding it, or summoning it. Then global signals synchronized. Voyager's carrier wave echoed from 3 different sky locations simultaneously, triangulating an empty point near the edge of our heliosphere. Empty only visually. Because gravitational readings there spiked. Something is coming. Not fast. Not slow. Patient. Intentional. And as the world sleeps beneath ordinary stars, we live in a moment no longer ordinary. The void is no longer silent. The dark is no longer empty. Voyager did not discover something. It awakened something. Something aware. Something watching. Something that now knows our voice. We sent a message into the cosmos 45 years ago, carved onto golden discs. A map of Earth, our music, our bodies, our dreams. We asked softly into eternity, "We are here. Is anyone else?" And at last, the universe answered. Not with greeting. Not with war. But with a mirror. A reflection of ourselves staring back from the dark, unblinking. So if you look at the night sky and feel something watching, maybe you're right. Maybe it never stopped watching. Maybe